Hi everyone, welcome to one of the biggest battery drain tests on my channel. Right here on my table, I have the Galaxy A72, the Galaxy A52 5G, the A52, S20 Fan Edition 5G, the S20 Fan Edition, and the Galaxy A32. So this is a really nice mix of the brand new Samsung smartphones, and this is going to be one interesting video. Now a lot has gone into the making of this video and I am quickly going to take you right into the battery drain test, but it would be massively appreciated if you guys can hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to turn on the notifications. Also, if you find this video good enough at some point, do hit the like button too. Sit back, relax, watch this battery drain test, and I'll catch you in a bit. A little temperature check before starting this test. Conditions are the same all across. All phones are using the same Wi-Fi, same settings. Bluetooth is turned on all the phones. All phones are using their high refresh rate. All phones are running on their latest Android 11 One UI 3.1 update. Initially, I'll keep the brightness full on all the phones and I'll turn the volume to 0. Unfortunately, I don't have a brightness meter right now, so I am just going with the available brightness controls on these phones. It's time to unplug the chargers from all the phones, and just to keep everything fine and fair, before starting the test, I restarted all the phones to give them a fresh start. Started the test off with the PUBG Mobile. This is a 1 hour gameplay and the stats throughout the entire battery drain test will keep appearing on your screen. And by the way, for the PUBG Mobile, I kept the graphics settings to Smooth Ultra because this is one mode that is common on all the phones. The S20 FE and the exynos have higher resolution and higher frame rates options as well, but I wanted to keep everything common between the phones. Everything had to stay the same for this battery drain. So yeah, that is why I did it. The specs of these phones are also on your screen. Samsung Galaxy A72 and A52 both come with either the Snapdragon 720G chipset or the 732G chipset. Samsung officially says that these phones have got the Snapdragon 720G, but the CPU-Z app on both of my phones shows 732G. And back in the day when I posted the unboxing and said that these phones have the Snapdragon 732G chipset, I faced a lot of backlash and some users said that the CPU-Z app is not correct. Anyways, whether it has the 720G or the 732G, the battery drain test is here and this test will push these phones to their limits. The A52 5G has the Snapdragon 750G and it's got higher refresh rate of 120Hz. S20 FE 5G has the Snapdragon 865 chipset, a flagship chip, while the S20 FE 4G has the Exynos 990 chipset, and lastly, the A32 has the MediaTek Helio G80 chipset. The display configuration, the resolution on all the phones is the same, and it's just the refresh rate that sets them apart. We can already see that the S20 FE Exynos variant is on the loose and its temperature is getting hot. This phone is such a disappointment. Its temperature issues cannot be ignored and it loses its battery at the same speed. A52 5G is at the second spot right now. This phone's 120Hz refresh rate is contributing to its slightly faster battery drain and its higher temperature too. The S20 Fan Edition 5G is at the third place so far because this phone has a better Snapdragon 865 chipset which goes really well with its 120Hz refresh rate. The A52 is doing so good. I am liking its performance so far in this test. On the other hand, the A72 and the A32 are going neck and neck. This is really good for the A72 because this phone has such a big display, a screen of 6.67 inches with 90Hz refresh rate. The A32 has just a 6.4 inches screen, so yeah, the A72 is doing exceptionally well here.
I
I ran a really nice mix of games and applications for this test. Remember that none of these phones have adaptive refresh rate. So when you are playing a game that runs at 30 or 60 FPS, these phones still keep pushing 120 or 90 FPS, which will obviously consume more battery. Keep your eyes on the temperature checks too. The S20 FE Exynos is just too bad. This phone gets hot enough to cook an egg. Its temperature keeps going up as we move further into this battery drain test. After about 4 hours, I dropped the brightness of all the phones to an optimal level and went ahead with some social media applications including Twitter and Instagram. The S20 FE Exynos loses more battery as it moves forward, and the A72 and A32 still go neck and neck while the A52 grabs the second best place. A52 5G is third, S20 FE 5G fourth, and the A52 5G is the fifth phone in this list. I ran the Chrome browser on all the phones for about an hour, and in the Chrome, I ran the UFO test. I ran multiple tests and kept changing the test all the time, and right here on the screen you will get an idea about the display performance and the screen refresh rate consistency of all these phones. The stats after 1 hour of the Chrome test are also appearing on your screen, and once again, the A72 maintains its lead. The S20 FE Exynos remains the worst performing phone in this lot. If you expected better results from the A52 5G, then you might be mistaken, because that 120Hz refresh rate is going to heat this phone up and also drain its battery, but thank God it's not as drastic as the S20 FE Exynos battery. The Snapdragon 750G is doing a much better job here. I ran the YouTube application at 1080p resolution for about 1 hour. And the battery stats after the YouTube application will also appear on your screen. To push these phones to their limits further, I launched the Antutu benchmark test, and halfway through this test, the Exynos S20 FE heated so much that it closed the Antutu benchmark and its temperature hit whopping 46 degrees. Other phones continued to perform well, and stats are going to be on your screen once again. If you have any kind of confusion regarding these stats, please make sure that you ask it in the comment section down below, and I'll try my best to get back to you right there. I also launched the 3D Mark wildlife stress test. This is a tricky test and it can fail randomly, and it did fail on the A52 5G first, and then it did fail on the S20 FE Exynos 2. Temperature is not the culprit here, it's just this test, and the stats after this test are right on your screen too. And by the way, so far if you are liking the efforts and hard work put into this video, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button and also hit the like button if you find this video useful. After completing this another hour of the battery drain test, I launched the camera application on all the phones and started recording a video clip of 1080p at 30 frames per second because that's a common mode available on all the phones. And during this first run, we got the first loser. You don't have to guess it because it is quite obvious. The S20 FE Exynos is the first phone that died in just 8 hours and 22 minutes. I think this is a good screen on time, but it had a lot of temperature issues. You can live with this battery, but not with this temperature. In between, to drain the battery faster on these phones, I launched the PUBG Mobile and kept switching between the PUBG Mobile and the camera application because at times the battery drain test can become really difficult because some of the phones are not just ready to die, so you have to push the limits. Other phones ran well for up to 9 hours, and the A52 5G called it off in 8 hours and 58 minutes. This wasn't unexpected. I did not expect this phone to perform any better since it has a 120Hz refresh rate, and the Snapdragon 750G is not that great of a chipset. It's just good. The S20 FE 5G died in 9 hours and 10 minutes. This phone gave us an extra 48 minutes of the screen on time as compared to the S20 FE Exynos. So there you have it. You know now that Samsung hasn't done justice by giving us the Exynos variant in some regions. We all deserve the same S20 FE 5G. Even if not the 5G, we at least deserve the non-5G variant with the Snapdragon 865 chipset. Anyways, the A52 died in 9 hours and 30 minutes. This is incredible. But the credit here also goes to its 90Hz refresh rate, and whatever chipset it has, 720G or 732G, it's doing well. The A72 took its last breath in 43rd minute of the 9th hour, and the A32 died in 9 hours and 45 minutes. For me, the winner here is the Galaxy A72 because it lasted that long with that huge screen and a much more powerful overall hardware as compared to the A32. So I'll give the A32 the second place here. The A52 and the S20 FE 5G have become my favorites. The A52 5G also does well, but I absolutely don't like the S20 FE Exynos anymore after today's battery test. Let's go ahead with the battery charging test now. Luckily, I have two extra 25 watt charging bricks, so I am going to charge one A52 with 25 watt charger and one S20 FE with 25 watt charger. Both these phones support 25 watt, and you will know if the 25 watt charger is going to be worth it or not, and you will get to compare 25 watt charger's performance with the 15 watt charger for the same phones right here in this video. Here, due to an electricity issue, the charging on the S20 FE 5G couldn't start on time. I checked it after half an hour and its charging started 30 minutes late, but I am using a 25 watt charger with this phone. The A52 5G with 25 watt charger hit 100% in 70 minutes. A72 with 25 watt charger hit 100% in 84 minutes. A52 4G with 15 watt charger hit 100% in 100 minutes. S20 FE Exynos with 15 watt charger hit 100% in 101 minutes. The S20 FE 5G with 25 watt charger hit 100% in 84 minutes. And the A32 was the slowest to charge. It charged up to 100% in 135 minutes with its stock 15 watt charger. And the test ends here. Okay, so that was all. with this battery drain test. I hope you guys found this video really useful and you enjoyed it as much as I did. It was a lot of effort, a couple of sleepless nights while recording this video, and editing this video were gone away. So I hope you guys appreciate the hard work put into this video. Now it would be greatly appreciated once again if you guys can hit the subscribe button and help me cross 50,000 subscribers. Also, if you found this video good enough, please hit the like button and don't forget to drop your feedback and your constructive criticism down below in the comment section. With that being said, I will now sign off and I will see you all in the next one.